Hey everybody, I'm here with another book review. This time I want to talk about a book in the Spooksville series. This is The Witch's Revenge. I have two copies of this book. One is in a little bit beat up condition. Um, I have another one that's in pretty decent condition. Not perfect, but still really good. I remember a couple years ago, I think this book was actually rare a while back ago, and I ended up getting it for like $6 or $7 from 90s Kids Library, I think, or I think he informed me it was on like thrift books and it was pretty cheap and it's just a harder one to find. And I remember finding another copy shortly after that at a local Goodwill. So yeah, for those of you who don't know, Spooksville has been a favorite so far. I've read five of the books, well six now. This is the sixth book, and yeah. So let's kind of get into it. The story begins with Adam, Watch, Sally, and Cindy. They're at I think the name of the ice cream shop is like the Hungry Cow, I think, is something like that. And they're eating ice cream and just chilling out. And they're talking about the witch in Spooksville and Templeton. They've met her multiple times throughout the series so far. And they start talking about, is she a good witch or is she a bad witch? And it it starts this discussion, and Sally, I think, is the one that says that no, she's evil, and Adam says that she's really nice because she actually invited him to come to her castle, and different things like that. Sally makes some kind of remark along the lines of Watch not being able to see, like teasing him, and Watch wears glasses, and he says that his eyesight is actually getting worse, like he can't see even with his glasses. So he would like to go to the witch's castle to see if she'd help, and that's basically what they do. They leave. They go to the castle. Despite Sally and Cindy not wanting to go, the boys do want to go, and yeah, they end up inside the castle. And I think the drawbridge lowers or something. They end up inside, and they end up in this room with this hourglass. And inside the hourglass, there's these four necklaces, and this is very interesting. Um, each necklace has some kind of inscription on there. There's one for immortality, courage, strength, not courage. I'm sorry. It's wisdom. Um, it's wisdom, strength, beauty, and immortality. That's it. And each individual character is drawn to their certain necklace. They have different colors on the necklace. I don't remember which one. One's like a ruby, and it's for the strength and different things like that. So, despite their arguments, they end up putting on the necklaces. Sally refuses; she doesn't want to do that. And the reason each kid is attracted to these necklaces is they have like a characteristic that describes them. Adam is short. He wants to be a little taller and he wants to be wiser for people to look up to him. Adam, he wants to be stronger with his ears and his eyes. And yeah, Cindy is very like based on her looks, and she wants to be seen as like a beautiful person. Um, so yeah, and Sally is obsessed with death, but she states that she's more so obsessed with living forever. And so they each individually put their necklaces on, and they realize, things are kind of changing. Watch begins to see like in the dark. Adam begins to like think clearer, and Sally, nothing really happens with Sally other than she starts shrinking, like going back in time, like being an infant, and stuff like that. Like she doesn't grow to an infant or anything, but she starts shrinking. And Cindy just starts like glowing, like radiant, and she asks like, "How do I look?" And very sweetly, Adam is like, "Oh, you look great." And yeah, so they find the necklaces, and Ann Templeton pops up. She pops up and she basically says, "You guys can have these necklaces, but in order to keep them, you have to escape my castle." And she basically leaves. And this is where the plot of the story is. They have to get out of the castle. So at first, they see this hole in the attic, and Adam or Watch now is very strong. He could jump high and all this stuff. So he jumps high. He throws down some kind of blanket, lets the kids up, and they start crawling around the attic trying to escape. And this place is like a maze. Walls reappear, close in as soon as you walk through there, and it's just like a big maze. So they're crawling through, and this is where the book really gets really good. Is there's this like cage thing, like a what's called a grate, but they're crawling across it, and each kid makes it except Adam. Adam is now growing really big. That's his side effect of his necklace, and each one is doing something different. Like I said, Sally is shrinking, Cindy is like shining. Watch has like the only positive outcome from the necklace, and Adam begins to grow really old and really big. And Adam eventually like breaks through the grate, and Sally goes to save him, but she falls down with him, and they land on this like spider infested. Well, it's like two gigantic spiders, and they start trying to chase them. And Sally takes a lighter, gets out of there, and Watch and Cindy, they end up getting kidnapped, and this is like the best scene in Spooksville so far. They end up getting kidnapped by these trolls, and there's a leader troll named Belfart. I know, like there's no joke about the fart name or anything like that, but he's that's his name. It's insane. But this is very scary, and this book does a perfect job of mixing humor and scares, because this thing is they're very scary. They start talking about how they're going to cook these kids and eat them, and all of the trolls are very excited. They got spears pointed at the kids. Very scary. And Sally or Cindy comes up with this idea. She says, "You can't eat us because we have chicken pox, or we're going to get chicken pox in 6 hours." And these trolls are very dumb, so they don't know, you know. So they're like, "Oh, you guys have chicken pox. After 6 hours, we can eat you." So they take them to this prison, and they lock them in. And Sally said, "You better not eat us before," or not. I keep saying Sally. This is Cindy's moment to shine. I'm sorry. Cindy says, "No, you can't eat us, and if you do, we will call the Marines. They're our friends." And basically, these trolls want to take over the world and make humans their slaves, but um, Watch and Cindy, basically tell them you're not gonna be able to overthrow the Marines. And so they end up the troll ends up leaving, and they're trying to think of ways to get out. Meanwhile, Adam and Sally, they're exploring this castle, and another shocking scene. They go into this room, and it's like you got a violet light, and they run into a girl sitting like around this pond with like trees and very beautiful scenery. And she introduces herself as Ann Templeton's daughter, and her name is Miriam. And we learn about who her dad is, sort of. We know we know his name. I don't remember it right offhand, but it's like starts with an F. It's like Farlog or something. It's some very weird name. And they talk about like how Ann Templeton, met this guy from this planet or whatever. And again, this is from like the cold people, and I tried my best to memorize it. This wasn't as complicated as that. Cold people, Christopher Pike went all out on that. But yeah, so she basically agrees to help them after talking to her. She has powers too. She's like a witch, but she says that her mom isn't a witch. She's just her mom. But yeah, we go back to the troll scene, and the troll comes back, and he wants to join the Marines. And this scene is just so ridiculous. It's hilarious. There's a lot of hilarious scenes in here. But he wants to join the Marines, and Watch basically says, "Hey, I have a brochure in my back pocket. If you undo my handcuffs, I'll give them to you." And he does, and yeah, he hits the troll over the head, and that's how they escape. Um, I'm not gonna say much more because I've already spoiled too much. But yeah, this is. I don't know if this is easily my favorite of the series so far, but it is very close if it's not. This book was great. It was very funny. I love so much about it. I love there's so much humor involved in here. I love the scenes where they're talking about cooking these kids, and they're talking about boiling them and broiling them and frying them and sautéing them. And then one says, "We'll put them in the microwave." And then Watch is like, "Where do they even get a microwave at?" This is a castle, so it's really funny. There's some scenes with Watch too where he kind of glimpses at his family and stuff, but we still don't learn anything about that. But yeah, The Witch's Revenge is by far if not the best in the series so far. I give it a 5 out of 5 stars. There's really nothing wrong with this. I did find something, and I'm not going to take my book out of the plastic or anything, but I actually found a typo on page 37 and 39. So that's like my only complaint, but I don't consider that. And I could have been reading it too fast. It might not have been a thing. But if you have this book, check it out. If you're interested in knowing what the typo is, I'll look it up or whatever and show you guys or something one day. But yeah, The Witch's Revenge. I give it a 5 out of 5 stars. Perfect book. Absolutely perfect. There is nothing wrong with this. Yeah, I can't wait to see what the next book is in the series. I think it's The Dark Corner. I don't know what to expect there. But yeah, I didn't really know what to expect here, but it was good. Yeah, that's basically it. I don't really have much else to say. I talked a lot about this book already. But yeah, 5 out of 5 stars for me, guys. Please let me know in the comments below. Did you read The Witch's Revenge? Do you own this book? How far are you in the Spooksville series? What's the best one? Most of these questions Spongy can answer just like that probably. But yeah. I don't want to know what the best one is so far. I want to know if the next book is good. Um, but I still want to read it myself and really decide. So yeah. Um, 5 out of 5 stars for me, guys. Please let me know in the comments below. Again, what did you think about this book? Thank you. Bye bye.